Oi, oi.
G'day, mate. What's going on?
Oh, you know, mate, just counting my losses after Zaaki ruined all my multis and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, it was a bit of a tough watch. Seeing Zaaki go down in the Zaaki Cup.
Well,
Who would have thought?
Well, it was his name. It was the race named after him, and rarely do you see like Winx comes to mind instantly. She won the Winx Stakes, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I thought Zaaki was an absolute moral to win the Zaaki Cup, but here we sit.
Yeah. Oh, what do you reckon? Do you reckon there was just a lot of factors that just went against him, or do you just think he was just below his best?
I think he was just below his best.
Yeah, I think he's just below his best.
Yeah. And we're all entitled to off days.
100%.
Like not on this podcast.
Yeah, true. Look, the thing is, mate, what I sort of take from it is the fact that, yeah, he started at he got pumped into like $1.24, which is a freaking skinny, toxic odds. It's toxic. Yeah. Like, wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole type odds.
God, no.
And yeah, like I can understand the multi-bait. I can definitely understand that argument.
Did you indulge?
I didn't have a cent on him.
Yeah.
I didn't have a cent on him. I had a 2-leg multi with him into potentially Dark Destroyer, maybe.
Yeah.
Something at a bit juicier odds just to sort of, ram up the odds a little bit. But not in a big way. Like he's just like I didn't ever dive in on Winx.
Mm.
I will happily watch you go round and admire you if you win by 4 or 5 lengths. Mm-hmm. But I'm not diving in at that price, mate. No thanks.
No. There's better things to invest in. You know what I mean? Like Blockbuster. Really reliable stuff.
Yup.
Yeah.
Yep. He'll bounce back, mate, and he'll win another Group 1 before the year's out.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about the track on Saturday. And while I do that, can you just turn that light on behind you?
I sure can.
On the floor. So cracking atmosphere at Eagle Farm. What a do it was. The BRC should be commended for Super Saturday, I guess it was. 3 Group 1s. But the people turned out.
The people turned out, mate, because, look, I'll tell you what. And the track was a good little, sample size of what I reckon the rest of Brisbane would have looked like Saturday evening into the early hours of Sunday morning. Mate, we've been hanging out for some good weather on a weekend for a very long time.
Oh, God, yeah.
I reckon the people of Brisbane, the Brisbane'ites, woke up Saturday morning licking their lips, just being like, I'm going to fucking blow myself up tonight.
You're shitting me. Is that the bluest sky on earth? I think it is.
I tell you what, I'm not going to enjoy this tomorrow, but I'm going to absolutely give it one.
Going to launch, going to detonate, I'm going to blow myself up.
100%. There was bars in the valley just shuddering. There was like, I'm going to get bent over and I'm just going to go in dry. I'm just going to absolutely just not enjoy a second of this.
No, consensually.
Yeah. The owners were licking their lips.
The bars want it. The bars haven't been touched like that for ages.
Yeah, the bars haven't had people touch those parts of them for a long time.
A long time.
Yeah. Parts getting explored that haven't been explored in their entire lifetimes.
Here's one for you. How many dry spells do you reckon were broken? Be them beers?
Yeah.
Or potentially other things?
Oh, so many.
I reckon world record numbers.
Yeah, I reckon there was just a lot of people who woke up on Sunday morning with a bit of a sore head.
But a smile on their face.
It's just like, you know what? I did a real number on myself last night, but I'm glad I did. There was a feeling in the air. It was an electric feel on Saturday. And the track, like I said, was a great sample size of that. It was pumping. It was heaving. The atmosphere was unbelievable, which more than made up for the fact that there was a lot of things at big prices that got up.
100%. And before we get into the horse racing chat, shout out to the bloody brilliant Beers boys. Met them for the first time, and what brilliant young men they are.
Yeah, lovely young chaps.
Klutz and Das.
Yeah, it was nice to meet the gents from Triple B. Is that what they go by, or do they go by BBB?
Bloody brilliant beers.
Just the full. They haven't even got an acronym yet.
Well, they call their listeners frothies, which is I can appreciate.
Yeah, I can appreciate that.
Much like our drifters.
Right, okay.
And, we got something in the works. We need them to just, get back to us about a little something. But
Yeah.
potentially the drifters and the frothies will combine.
Yeah, no, it was good to see the bloody brilliant boys. Good to see the Mugs boys as well. They were in their element. Mystic Aroma obviously ran in the group. Was it group 2 or group 3?
I think it was group 2 worth 1 milli. So they were up and about. They were certain that she was going to run top 5. She ran, unfortunately, second last. But we don't talk about that.
No. But yeah, look, it was a great day on trackside, and yeah, not a lot of punting success.
No,
but was still very, very privileged to be there in members.
You win some, you lose some. But now we can't name names here, but we were talking about something in the car, and I just wanted to bring it to the people in some way.
Yeah. Okay, let's preface this that we won't talk about, obviously we're not going to name who and be specific, and I don't think we should also divulge who we had this conversation with, because I think that's like
or what we were actually talking about. I think we'd be very cryptic.
Yeah, I think we'd be incredibly cryptic. But yeah, we were discussing this. When is too much information? Too much information.
Anything that, look, when you're in the boudoir, some things can unfortunately go wrong. I think man, woman, and probably not child, but man or woman can.
Hopefully not child. Hopefully not.
I think everyone can say like some things have gone awry.
Everyone's got a story, man.
Yeah, 100%. This story knocked us over with a feather on Saturday night.
Unbelievable.
It was unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Gobsmacked. My jaw cracked the bloody tiles on the floor. It was that agape.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
It was
shocking. I was shocked. It was. Look, my theory is like, if the other person is in the vicinity when you're telling this story,
yeah,
and if you, in your mind, you think it's still okay to tell the story, play on. By all means, go ahead. Some people, that logic just goes through one ear and out the other.
It ceases to exist.
There's no logic. Completely illogical way to live your life.
Oh, so I'm still, as I said to you in the car on the way here,
still reeling.
I'm still trying to piece this together. It's like, how do we know about this?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Like, so there's the people who get told a story like this in like immediately. So you're like, oh, cool. There's only 3 people who know this, and it'll stay with them.
Yeah.
Think fucking again.
Oh, especially in the environment that you're first telling that. It's like, mate, how is that not going to be known across households right across Australia?
Yeah. There'll be memoirs written about it. This is going to go down in recorded history.
Like Anthony Seibold thought those rumours were bad.
Can you remember that? We were talking about this the other night as well. Like when Anthony Seibold, poor bloke, like I feel for you, mate. When he was coaching the Broncos and clearly the Bronx Nation supporters wanted him out. And there was the most bizarre and wildest rumours getting spread from group to group about like this man like
living 50 lives?
Yeah. Is he Australia's most wanted?
Yeah.
Like the things that this man is doing, like how does he find all the time apart from coaching Bronx Nation to do all this shit?
Well, some would argue he wasn't coaching Bronx Nation.
Yeah, he was doing other stuff.
Well, that was the rhetoric going around, but Jesus.
Oh, man, I was reeling post that conversation. Like I'm a pretty liberal guy. Like I'm I'm a real like
Yeah.
fuck anyone who can't take a joke type operator. Like,
Yeah.
that's how I live my life, right?
But
I was just like, I don't need to know that.
No.
I don't need to know it. And I was still reeling from the day at the track. I was reeling. I got blown back by the bookies. I was like taking knocks left, right, and centre. I was like, fucking hell. He's ducking and weaving, just trying to stay afloat. It's coming in hot, just reeling, and then you just hear more of that. It's like, oh my God, when's this going to end? It's like being in a washing machine. Just bouncing from one side to the other. You wake up the next morning and you're like, these Sunday scaries hit different.
yeah, well, firstly, you wake up, you're like, oh, damn it, well, it's a bit emptier than what it should be. You might have a sore head because you were on the heavies. And then next minute, you weren't expecting a third thing, but bang, it knocks you over the face.
Exactly.
You got told one of the weirdest stories of all time. Okay.
That's what makes the world go round.
Yeah.
Weird stories.
Yeah,
Let's be
absolutely. 100%. So, who won the Group 1s last week? Let's touch on those for a bit. So, Zaaki went down.
Huati.
I think I told you this before the race. I don't think I said it on the podcast, so it doesn't really count. But we were just, mulling the race over in members, just, had the form guide out. I said to you, I think Huta, or whatever his name is a better place bet than Zaaki is to win.
Yeah.
I think he's the value, $2.50, and then he goes out and wins. The Snowdens, mate.
Oh, on fire.
Talk about, all right, so if Price Kent Jr. were the honour duck students of the Adelaide Carnival,
Yeah.
tell you what, the first seed for Brisbane has to be the Snowdens. They are tearing this carnival apart.
100%. They're on fire. Not a stack of runners, but the strike rate's incredible.
They have 3 on the weekend. I think they had the 2-year-old race.
She's a belter.
Yep. They had Huda, and then they had Naj Marty in the last.
Yeah. Mate, Naj Marty was a dead giveaway. Tommy Berry comes up to Brisbane. He's got one ride all day.
To be fair, he had 4 scratchings.
He did have 4
He had 4 scratchings, so he was supposed to have 5. He had 1 though. But what does that tell you?
Back Naj Marty.
Yeah.
Drifted big on the drift.
Yeah.
So Huerta, do you think he's a genuine, he's got a genuine Group 1 weight for age on the board now? Do you think he's a threat in the spring for those sort of races?
Q22. We're going to see this exact same matchup in a few weeks.
Yeah.
So I think he could match up because Zaaki has gone down on super rock hard ground before. It was in the Might and Power, maybe, whatever the race.
Yeah, it was the Might and Power, yeah.
So he's gone down on, maybe he's a bit of a funny horse that way. He just doesn't like it rock hard, doesn't like it super wet. He's a Goldilocks type.
Yeah, he is. He needs to be just right. Oh, look, I've got an incredibly high opinion of Zaaki.
So does the world. He's the 6th best rated horse on the planet.
Exactly. But he's a bully. He's a bully horse. He needs to have everything up front on his own. And Polly Gray put the pressure on inside of him early on in that race, and he was undone by that, mate. Because he needs to come across like he did in the All-Star Mile, like he's done previously in Doomben Cups. Even in the Queen Elizabeth Stakes, you could argue it took the ride of the century to bring him undone. But he was up there all by himself, just charging. Yeah. And that's when he runs at his best. So you could argue that the week gap between the actual Doomben Cup running and when it actually did, that might have gone against him. The extra 100 metres might have gone against him. The pressure from the inside might have gone against him. The concrete deck might have gone against him. That's a lot of excuses for a horse, isn't it?
That is. And when you're talking the 6th best rated horse on the planet, our best middle distance horse by the length of the straight, he should have won. Look, am I going to back him in the Q22? Yes, mate. You're going to get $2 now.
100%. So do you think Huerta can win another Group 1?
I think so. Yeah, from what we saw. He hasn't been here for that long, I don't think. So
I tend to agree because I think horses that, come from overseas, I think their second or third prep, you actually see the type of horse they are. So he's winning a Group 1 in a pretty decent whack. I think he could win another.
Yeah. And it's like our middle distance ranks are pretty meh.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
So, over 2,000 metres, we've got some pretty winnable Group 1s.
I think so, yeah.
So, is he going to win a Cox Plate? I'll be surprised.
Yeah.
But, Apache Chase, Fantastic win.
And the Kingston Smith, yeah, that was great. Gutsy.
Great race. Paul Ailey just found one better.
Yeah, I think Paul Ailey had every opportunity to run over the top of Apache, and just couldn't. Maybe 1,300 is just an extra 100 meters more that he doesn't want.
Yeah. 11:11, I thought, put in a fantastic trial for the Stradbroke. Am I going to back him? Not sure.
Yeah.
I think Wave Rage probably isn't his go, but that was a hell of a run.
Great run. Great to see Rothfire up the front there as well. I thought it was a cracking race, the Kingston Smith.
BRC Cup, Alligator Blood, socks are gone.
Yep.
Heavy finish there.
Yeah, I think out of that race, you could probably take a couple. Alligator Blood is obviously going into the Stradbroke. So you're going to get a price about him. So I think he's a good bet if you're getting close to double figures. And what was the other one? The Derby.
Yeah.
Do I want anything out of that race in the future? No.
They'll go to Hong Kong anyway. Yeah. Beautiful. Let's look forward. Queensland Oaks. Now, there's a stacked field here, 2,200 metres for the 3-year-old fillies. Look, you can take the honours here.
Text you and the barriers were drawn yesterday morning. I was like, you're kidding me. Fuck. Yeah. My girl, Gypsy, who you knew I was betting on this girl in this race probably, 3 months ago.
Yeah.
So she's always going to be my top selection. She draws the bloody car park. She drew in Doomben.
Yeah. She drew Doomben, which is rarely seen. But horses have been known to come from the Doomben racecourse and set off, and they can actually win.
100%, yeah. So, and as you know, I've said it on this podcast before. I'll say it again until it's drilled into your thick heads, drifters. I'm not a big barriers guy. I don't take too much notice of barriers. Do you know what I am though?
Yeah.
Big tempo guy.
Yeah,
big tempo guy.
Big.
Look, keep an eye out for our Ned's segment this week, drifters, because I put my nuts on the line. And I labelled Gypsy Goddess a moral.
Yes, you have, which I can appreciate. And do I have her on side? No, I don't. But this is a game of opinion.
It is, which is why we love the great game, because it's one of the few, if not the only sport, where you and your good mate can have vastly different opinions about a race, but still appreciate it.
Yeah.
Pick another sport. I don't know, AFL. I could be a big Collingwood fan. You're obviously a big Lions fan. I'm a Lions fan. But we could butt heads and we could disagree, be like, nah, piss off. Like, you guys got all the calls this game. You know what I mean? Whereas in horse racing, it's just,
Yeah. And
we're all in this together against the bookies.
100%. 100%.
Well, talk me through. So that's my clear on top selection. Can you talk me through your process, reading the form for this race, and who you end up going with?
Sure. One thing I do look for is I'll put you to 2 horses in the form guide. Number 12, Aravine, and also number 14, Smirk. So if we start with Smirk, for example, so she's gone from 1,500 metres to 18 to 2,100. She hasn't been winning those races. Well, she won the 1,500 one, but if you look at when she steps up in distance, she's been closing the gap of what she's been losing by.
Lightly raced.
I love seeing them close the gaps when they step up in distance. I think when they get to that further distance, they're ready to go. Problem is, there's a few that fit that profile here. So I went through, I'm like, who's the horse here that, I've got a few favourites here. Gypsy, unfortunately, is not one of mine. Just think she's far too short every time she goes out. In a past life, I backed Glint of Hope without any success. Definitely backed Biscayne Bay, Mokalua, Honey Creeper.
Yeah, you backed Honey Creeper in the Aussie Oaks, didn't you?
Yeah, so there's some horses that I have a lot of time for here. Dynasties. I have to go with the thing that I think is peaking at the right time, and that's Aravine for Caroline Jennings. not only her first Group 1 winner, this could potentially be her first listed winner ever.
Wow.
So she's only had 68 starts as a trainer. This trainer, 22% strike rate, winning strike rate. This horse absolutely blew them away last start at Rosehill over the 2000. The clear worry for this horse is the rock hard deck at Eagle Farm. Like, I'm a bit how you going when I see horses come off heavy decks onto good decks.
They go either way, don't they? Some of them just, absolutely peak, and then others just can't really cop it that well.
But what buoyed me was what Brett Preble was saying during the week.
Brent Pebble.
He says this horse he was surprised how well she let down on heavy ground, and he has the utmost confidence that she'll handle the good ground. Barrier 6, of the favoured chances, she's the only one that's drawn a barrier. I think she can sit just forward in midfield, and I reckon she'll just have the run of the race.
Yeah, I backed her last start.
Yeah.
RV. And she was very impressive. So I can understand your logic. Look, reason why Gypsy for me is immoral. She's started 8 times in her career. She hasn't missed the top 3. I reckon she hates heavy decks. I reckon she hates them. And she's run second in the Aussie Oaks over 2,400 metres on what was one of the most testing decks you'll ever see in this country. Yeah, she just missed in the bracelet, but I potted Pikey on the podcast the next week, and I think he deserved to be potted. Love you, Pikey. But he was half-assed in that race. He's like, Gold Coast bracelet, whatever, who cares? But she was a flashing light in that race for me. I think more so than Dynasty's. She finally gets back to a good deck. She's been crying out for a good deck. And all her times and ratings and what have you from her first few runs in her career on those dry decks has absolute Group 1 class written all over her, not just against her own age and sex. I think for the rest of her career, Gypsy Goddess. I was buoyed. In fact, when I saw the wide barrier, upon reflection, I'm getting $4.20 with Neds with her now, and she's immoral. I think she is clearly so much better than these. All I want from Pikey, don't just flop your thing out of the gate. Just don't be a flopper. Just show some initiative. I think if he shows some initiative, if she's off midfield and if there's a bit of pace on, which I think there will be, I reckon she's going to come over the top of them. And I reckon you're going to be seeing shades of Winks in the 2015 version of the Oaks, winning by lengths.
Wow, there you go.
Winning by lengths. Gypsy Goddess, this has been her target the entire time.
I think the bracelet just might have been a tune-up run for her.
100%.
It's hard to go against it, right? She's proven to handle Eagle Farm. She's 2 from 2.
Loves it.
And not only has she handled it, she's bloody spanked him. She's won by 3.5 and by 4.
Ew.
So
yeah, she has. Yeah,
I just can't do it. I have to see it.
Yeah, so fair.
And look, there is if you're a punter, a drifter out there that likes a bit of story behind your bet, Glint of Hope won the Australasian Oaks because when it came out that Natalie Young
was battling breast cancer.
She's having surgery on Monday, and she's flying up to Brisbane just to watch this horse.
I think she's a big price.
She's over the odds.
I think so. This is an afterthought, so take that in mind when you're having to punt drifters. This is an afterthought for her, but I think she's probably got the class to be there or thereabouts. Barb Radar, I backed her last start on the weekend. I don't think 2,000 plus is her go. I think she's a mile of this horse.
Yeah.
But she'll give herself every chance with that positive racing pattern. You off Biscayne Bay and Honey Creeper for this?
I'll probably have... This is probably how I'll play them.
Yeah.
I reckon I'll go Gypsy and Aravine, top 2.
Yep.
And then I'll have a trifecta and I'll chuck in there Glint of Hope, Biscayne Bay, Mokalua, Honey Creeper, Dynasties, Smirk.
The field.
Because I think I nearly was tipping Smirk on top. I thought she was outstanding this prep. Honey Creeper, look, I'll probably let her go around. Mokalua, I'll let her go around, but I still have time for Biscayne Bay. There's something about her.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. Fair enough.
Yeah, so Aravine on top for me, and GG, better the Century for you. Mate, we do have a drifter of the week. He is just stuck shifting tin at the moment, so he'll be with us shortly. But bets of the week.
Yep. It's a cracking day at Eagle Farm. Did you like a few?
Let's talk about Special K in the Morton Cup.
Yep.
Race 8. Are you with or against him?
Do you know what I liked in this race? One of the bottom weights, Let's Be Glam. I liked her in this race. I think with the cash on offer, she ran third to Written Beauty that day. We were at Eagle Farm where it was just misty rain all day. I reckon she's crying out for a good track. Draws super well. From memory, she was coming home like a freight train, and I didn't watch the replay, to be honest, but she'll be up on pace. So I think she's a good bet in this race, so I'm against him.
Yeah. I just can't do it to myself. Special K.
I think he wants a heavy deck.
Yeah.
Special K.
I think he can. He's just like inconsistent, unfortunately. He'll win and then he'll just, well, as he did, finish 11th. So can't do it. Mate, Let's Be Glam was the one I found too. I think she might have come back a far better horse this prep. So I think the $13 on offer with the good people at Ned's is a good bet. What about you? Elsewhere.
Draw your attention to race 4 in Eagle Farm, the Billy Carter Stakes for the 2-year-old fillies. So Sneesby Racing.
Actually racing this weekend?
Yeah, it actually is racing this weekend. So it was my best bet a few weeks ago when the meeting got called off. So finds a dry deck here, draws the car park, which is a kick in the nuts. But Zoo Gotcha, there's an incredibly high opinion of this horse. Flight stakes in the spring, and then lightly weighted in one of my favourite races, the Empire Rose. What are my thoughts on lightly weighted fillies?
You fucking love them.
I love them. So yeah, really big watch for Zoo Gotcha on the weekend.
All right. Was she your best?
No.
Okay.
When I call something immoral.
It's a good point you make.
Did you like anything else?
I didn't mind if I take you to the last race on the card.
Yep.
I am really loving the work with Ethelric.
Yeah, the Godolphin thing.
I am terrified of the hard deck here though. That's the only worry I have. But it's already been smashed 390 into 310 at some places, but still available $3.80 with the good people at Ned's.
Yeah, I didn't mind Arenti in that race, number 6. If I am being honest, there was one other race that I wanted to draw your attention to. Let me just try and actually find it. Race 3, the Phoenix, in Eagle Farm. So. Geez, there's some spruiking for the Coolmore thing, number 10, political debate, people calling it the JJ Atkins winner. I think a couple of the boys over at the Mugs
HQ.
Yeah, they've got a high opinion of this horse. Do you think it wins?
To be honest, I don't know too much about it. I've kind of gone off the 2-year-olds a bit. So doing with the form for the JJ, that is a next week job.
Fair enough.
What do you think?
Out of So You Think, out of a Zabeel mare, he's going to get to 1600 really comfortably. So you can tick that box. Just the spruiking of the horse by Coolmore, by Waller, by J-Mac makes me think that it is going to be something pretty special. West of Africa is a horse that creates interest for me as well. Didn't like the heavy deck last start down the coast. Finds a dry deck here. So $7 with Ned's. I probably prefer to play with that because I think political debate's going to get absolutely fucking pumped in.
So when we talk 2-year-old trainers, I think Annabelle Neesham she's entering the frame. You know what I mean? I think it's still Snowden's,
Freedman's,
Hawks. Who else? Gary Portelli, obviously. But yeah, I think she's entering the frame. She can get him going pretty early.
Yeah, I think so. It's funny what she was saying before the winter carnival started. She was like, I need more bloody swimmers in my stable. She's like, all my horses love dry decks. I'm like, yeah, fair enough, Annabelle.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, it's now or never for our Drifter of the Week. Now or never. Maybe we should end it on this each time. Maybe. See how we go.
Just end it with a ringtone.
The person you're calling is not available.
All right. What we might do is we'll end it here and we'll edit it in at the end.
We can always do that. What was your best of the day?
Mine was race 10, number 3, Ethelric.
Oh, that's your best of the day. Right, okay. All good. Obviously mine's GG.
Gypsy Goddess. All right. We'll edit it in if you want to listen to it at the end, Drifters. But thank you for listening, and we'll be at the track again this weekend.
Yes, we will be. All the best, Drifters.
Hooroo.
Bye.
Here we go. Surely this time.
Go for Moz.
Ah,
Here he is.
The fearless leader of Mugs HQ, Brandon Morris. How you going?
I'm very well, mate. Fingers crossed the other two boys don't hear that statement because I'm sure they'll stake me up and take the title happily. So good to hear your voices, that's for sure.
Thank you, mates. Who would win if it was if you're playing like a game of King of the Hill and you're actually fighting to the death for leadership of the Mugs? Who'd win, Moz?
Well, let's just say find the two worst football teams going around, put them against each other, and I don't think you really get a winner out of that battle, do you? So let's just say a dead heat's probably the best result we could ask for.
Genuine bottom 8 footy.
Mate, you played that with such a straight bat. You had the opportunity to absolutely pot the other boys.
I did, mate. Well, to be fair, they're standing behind me with a knife in the back, so I've got to just got to play the PR card, mate, and keep everyone happy.
Love it, mate. Love it. Moz, you and the Mugs are the resident experts of racing in Brisbane. So, mate, talk us through this Queensland Oaks. Jonesy's quite keen on one. Who do you like?
Oh, mate, it is just pinnacle racing up here this time of year, isn't it? It's fantastic. And when you say experts, just drifters, remember that those boys said that and not myself. Let me give you some stats touch. I know you're the stats man, but I think it's maybe the first 5 out of 6 in the market have all drawn absolutely horrid, which I was counting my chips for the Gypsy. You know, the DVD story is always a good one, but Barrier 22, not so much a fan, but I've found one.
Come on. All right.
Bring it up now.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to tell you the wrong number and it wins and then I look like an absolute fool. But the Kiwis have been doing pretty well up here, as they always do, sort of winter carnival time. So I'm going to take you down to number 16, Lee Villy.
Hello.
Tim Clark on board, now ridden by K.A. Lee. Trained by Chris Lees. And if you're having a look at our friends or taking it to a certain level, you can probably get $20 plus for this little Kiwi horse.
All right.
Had a couple of starts here in Australia and fortunately is not a very good jumper from what I can sort of gather from a few replays. But all her starts have come from a fairly wide barrier draw. So I'm fingers crossed, toes crossed from barrier 2. Even if she jumps bad, she just might be able to sit a little bit handy. She's one of those Biscayne Bays, hutch, hard in your mouth, running on, and you just never know if she's going to get there. So it's going to be a bit of that, but I think there's, these sort of weak Group 1s, you always have a couple of bolters that set a bit of a stupid pace up front. So I'm hoping that the best track in Queensland allows their run-ons to be running on.
Love it, mate. Didn't Winning Ways wasn't there like records broken for like the exotic prices a couple of years ago in the Oaks? It was like 100 to 1 into 60 to 1 into 30 to 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just sort of got over that. But thanks for bringing that back up. Yeah.
All right, so Lavilli
you're
is
right.
building to the Oaks, you reckon? All right, I love it.
I think so. I can't really throw in it's got the pedigree or it's got this and that because I honestly don't really know. But if some of your listeners out there like that, well, it has that.
Lovely. Love it, mate. And what about a best bet across the beautiful Eagle Farm program?
Now, boys, I've got a great one for you. I could have gone the easy route and declared Kementari, who goes around in the Morton Cup of race dates, but that's not what we do here. We don't just pick the favourites for the sake of it, right?
Yeah.
You two don't. I most of the time do. So, no, we're gonna look for the top stable up here in Queensland because when they come up here, we want to perform in our home stall, and no one does that better than TJ Golan. And in race 5, he's got a horse named Garibaldi first up.
Love
it's
this.
paying around that $5 mark. Now, anyone that knows Garibaldi, he probably owes us quite a bit, and that's not putting it lightly. Personal interests aside. But absolutely flies first up. It's probably one of Golan's only horses that thrives at Eagle Farm as well. So I'm always keen to watch Garibaldi go around at Eagle Farm. If you go through the form there in that race, there is stacks of speed. And that's exactly what this fella needs to swoop home and hopefully come over the top first up, which he has a immaculate record, I should add, first up.
What about the stablemate, Needorp? We're a bit of a fan of this horse. What about that one?
Look, we're all a bit of a fan of Needorp, aren't we? We do have a bit of a running gag that it's the other Golan runner that often gets it.
Yeah.
However, I think this just could be a little bit of a set the pace up for the more favoured stablemate to be coming home strong. So, look, I wouldn't talk you out of the Quinella. I probably try my best to talk you into it, but probably got better chances not talking you out of it.
Oh, lovely, mate. All right, so Garibaldi and Lavilli, is
Lavilli.
Lavilli in the Oaks.
Lavilli.
Love your work.
Got to roll
Moz.
the tongue over there, mate.
Yeah, you can tell we definitely paid that horse a lot of attention, Moss.
It's gonna be an absolute destruction derby, I reckon, from that first sort of 200 metres when they all try to get their spot. But you got 20 plus horses going for the rails. It's going to be great.
Yeah,
what Queensland racing is all about.
Oh, mate, 100%. And yeah, look, I would not be surprised if it pops up at all.
Love it. All righty, mate. If you're heading to the track on Saturday?
I sure will be. So
Right.
doing the brownie points leading up until Saturday, which is something we all need to get around.
Oh,
Love
lovely,
it, mate. Love it. All right, we'll see you there, Moz. Thanks for jumping on, brother.
No worries, boys. Thanks for having me. Good luck out there, drifters.
All right. See you, mate. Bye.
See you, Moz. Bye.
All right. This is the actual end of the podcast.
Yeah, this is the real end.
Yeah. So shout out to you if you've made it this far. But yeah, we'll see you then. Bye.
Best of luck. Bye.